Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to our latest webcast that we're bringing you from Travel Weekly as part of our Roadmap to Recovery series. And I'm absolutely delighted to be joined today by Clare Tobin, who is the CEO of Biblio Travel, a new tour operator into the UK market. So hi, Clare, how are you?
Very good. Thank you, Lucy. Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon. And it's been, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while because, of course, we first wrote about coming to the market with this new proposition. And I guess you've had to kind of change some of your plans around launch. So, what's it been like, I guess, first of all, setting up a tour operation and trying to launch it in a pandemic, and perhaps just give us an update on where you are with things now?
Yeah, so we came together last November, believe it or not, and thought we'd be launching in January, working with a website really that's set up for trade, because it's a trade-focused business. And we thought it'd be quite simple to hit that January boom and everyone back to the market. And of course, January came, and we were really still locked down. So we decided to push back. In fact, we've pushed back 4 times since thinking of launching and getting together. So we got together as a team, got a fantastic team in the UK. And we're also supported by, obviously, business which is Cypriot backed. And we have most of the call centre sitting in Cyprus, and the team that we've got there, which we've obviously employed over the winter months, are generally, most of them are expats, or quite a few Cypriots. We have a real mixture of nationalities, but probably 80% are British expats that know and love the island well. So all worked in travel before as well. So it has been really challenging because of the stop and starting. I suppose the only blessing is we haven't started, so we haven't had to keep doing that stopping and starting. And they were quite difficult decisions to make. The other part was obviously getting our ATOL license in the middle of a pandemic, with obviously the focus being very much on of the operators that were obviously trying to come through to get their license as well. So obviously the renewals, so we were sort of trying to fight our way through to get our new license, and that wasn't without its challenges, but we've come out of it very well, and I'm pleased to say we've also entered into a gold trust, which is part of the CAA. So we're actually now putting all our customers agents' money into a trust. So I think that actually puts us in a great place to launch once we've worked through that, because the customers know and the agents know their money's protected until after arrival back into the UK after the customers' holidays.
Yeah, that's really important. And again, that's another benefit of launching now, because lots of people are thinking about changing their model, aren't they? But you've been able to, I guess, start. Let's just take a step back, but just for case people, don't know, it's just selling to Cyprus, isn't it? And you talk about you've got these Cyprus specialists who all love the island, and that's your focus, isn't it?
Yeah. So Biblio looked at the opportunity of the UK market, and I suppose when people are going through a pandemic, you do get these market opportunities. And what they saw was there's really only a few players now doing the package side, and there was also a big demise, I suppose, when Thomas Cook left the market for Cyprus, because they were carrying over 100,000 passengers to Cyprus, just solely Thomas Cook. And there's also been a lot of retraction of capacity. So we thought really entering into the market and hitting Cyprus was a very good place to start. The parent company also carries already 500,000 passengers to Cyprus. So we have very good,
what
strong
markets, Clare?
There's got Russia, coming from Bulgaria, various others. Obviously, Cyprus has been a passion of mine for many years. I was first a buyer there, first choice. So sort of worked through and worked with the Cypriots, who very close to my heart, and they've been fully supportive of us entering this market. However, we are looking to expand once we get through probably 22 and into 23 to look at some new destinations, but Cyprus is a good starting point.
And when probably racing ahead, there's lots of other questions I want to ask you, but when you say new destinations, will it be in the same area, you know, Eastern Mediterranean, Greece? Is that the kind of place you'd look at, or are we talking about totally different?
We haven't quite decided yet, because I think it's really making sure that we do the right analytics on the market, capacities, demand, and also really, you know, where we end up out of, I think, 22. What's going to happen in 22 is going to be very interesting for the whole market. Is there going to be sort of under capacity and huge demand? I think that's what we're all expecting. So I think we're going to just be quite flexible, as we've got quite a flexible program. We can expand on our flying. We're actually flying with Condor, which is German airline, with fantastic new aircraft, and a great relationship there to be able to, for both sides to spot where the opportunities are.
And you mentioned your atoll, Claire. You're saying the challenge of getting it. Can you just give us an idea of the size of atoll that you went for this first 12 months?
Yeah, so we obviously did an atoll starting from July, even though now we're going to be starting in August, given the latest notifications. So we put in an atoll for 96,000, which we have the license for, 96,000 capacity. And then obviously we'll be looking at a new atoll because our renewal is September. So we've just also placed that in as well. And just really, we will be there for operating next year, hopefully from April to October. So we're going to lengthen the season for 22.
Yeah, good idea. I'm sure many tour operators will be doing the same to try and recoup. Now let's just talk about the situation then with Cyprus, because obviously you mentioned there you're now pushed back to start in August, clearly hoping to get some of that summer. But at the moment, you know, what are the entry requirements? Just remind us, you know, Cyprus is obviously on the amber list, which means double vaccinated Brits can go and come back without isolating. Is there any risk of it going amber plus like we've seen with France, or are you fairly confident that will stay the same? And also, just from an entry requirement point of view, what are the Cypriots demanding of Brits coming in? Because I thought something had changed there quite recently as well.
Yeah, so basically, if you're going into Cyprus and you're double vaccinated, you can come in and return. As we said, obviously the UK are still asking for a test coming back in, I think, from all amber countries, and possibly most green as well. Obviously, you need to look at that detail. If you're going into Cyprus and you're not double vaccinated, you will be asked to do a PCR test, and that has to be done within 72 hours. If by any chance you haven't done that, you can do that at the airport, but then you will have to make sure that you are staying in your hotel until you get your result. But the result turnaround is about an hour. So they've got that covered. You are exempt up till 18. So children up to 18 are exempt. The Cyprus government, you know, the deputy minister, who's also been working very closely with us to push Cyprus as well to the forefront of people's minds, have actually been open to the UK travelling there from the 1st of April if you're double vaccinated. So they were one of the first countries to go out and say, please come to the British market, and that still stands. We've been doing research with the Attitude Monitor, which shows us that 9.8 million people were looking to book a holiday on Freedom Day. Everyone was getting ready, big demand, all very exciting. And then we saw what happened in France, which we keep now talking about Amber Plus, but France is the only country that's been subjected to this by the UK so far. And yeah, there is always a possibility, but what we can see by the vaccination rollout is that Cyprus is very successful. They've got sort of 65% of adults vaccinated. Okay. They've got a population of 1.3 million, and up to 800,000 have now had a first jab. So I think looking at that, I think everybody can see that nearly across Europe, everyone's cases have risen. But they're starting to come down, like the UK. They've started to decline again over the last few days. So I'm hoping now, you know, we're going to get to some sort of normality, and the vaccination rollout is important. And again, with the research that we looked at, because it was important for us to launch with the consumer in mind. 78% said that the vaccination rollout of a country of where they were going to on holiday was really important. So I think that we should also look at that as well, rather than just the number of cases, which we know we're trying to live with. I mean, health and safety and care comes first for our customers. So, you know, it's not just about selling holidays, it's making sure that we are doing it in the right way, which is why we have constantly been reviewing when we should launch.
Yeah. And you mentioned there that the Cypriots obviously wanted us from April the 1st, or whatever, they were keen to have us back. I mean, Brits are a big market for Cyprus. So perhaps just give us an idea of how desperate they are to get sort of our custom back. But also you mentioned there that you're anticipating going into 22, perhaps, you know, a shortage of capacity potentially. You know, have other markets snapped up all the beds, Clare, or are you confident that you can get enough accommodation, etc., for your, you know, your proposed, you know, number of people you're hoping to take away?
Yeah, we have done most of the contracting. We've already looked at what our, you know, demand and supply will be for next year. I think there will be huge demand. If we, I suppose we said that for 21 as well, with everybody waiting for 20. So let's hope there's great demand. I think there's a lot of pent up demand.
Yeah.
We can see that a lot of people are wanting to go on holiday. Yeah, I think the Cypriots, you know, they do favour the UK market. They enjoy the UK market. They have a big Russian market. They also have a big market from Germany. I think the Germans and Russians have managed to make their way to Cyprus this year. And therefore, you will see that the majority of Cyprus is open, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So that if we were to you know, see a big pickup for Cyprus, then people know that they're going there, that they're going to a resort that is open, and people are enjoying it. And they obviously get quite a lot of business from the Middle East as well. So yeah, it's a good place to be. With the question of next year, I think there are other places to go, and there are places for everyone, you know, for people, different choices. But I think Cyprus is still developing. You know, you're constantly seeing new products developing there, and we're working very closely with those key suppliers. There's great product there from 2 to 5 star, which we cover everything.
I was going to ask you, because you said you've been out contracting. So just give us an idea then. You mentioned there you cover everything. So that's from, you know, apartments up to luxury. Is that right?
Yeah, so we're doing apartments. You can get a 2-star apartment in the youth areas, or if you've got some of those traditional type apartments that over towards the Paphos Polis area. Fantastic villas if people want to be on a hotel complex, because some people feel now that it's quite nice to actually be in a hotel, have a villa. So they've got the self-catering part, but they can dip into the hotel environment. So we've got all of that type of area. We've got 180 properties, which is a vast array of properties for people to see just in one destination. But I think we all know that Cyprus really has quite a lot of different views. And for one of the things that I've always really promoted in Cyprus is making sure that you can even do a twin or a triple centre, because you've got the mountains as well. You can go into more of the family area, Protaras. You've got Ayia Napa if you want to venture out one evening. I'm sure we wouldn't do that, Lucy. And then you can cross over to Limassol, which has now built the most amazing marina. So there's a great big yachting area there. And then you've got Paphos, which again has got the beautiful sort of romantic Aphrodite's rock side of it. And then moving over to Polis Lachi, which are the sort of fishing villages, but it's a huge villa area over there. So for me, it's got everything really that you would want in one place.
So not just in terms of your price point, but also whether you're traveling as a family, because you mentioned there, if you're under 18, then that you know, you don't have to be vaccinated, and they're quite happy to have those people in. So the family market's going to be big for you, couples. You know, you said youth there as well. So you really have got something there to suit most tastes, yeah? Yeah,
we have. And, you know, we've got the triple lock policy, which is really about having our gold trust. So making sure people's customers' money is protected. We also have flexibility right up to the time of travel. So people have got all different ways that they can change, amend, and not have to worry full COVID refund. And we also have a price promise. So if you're looking for your holiday, and you see anybody else with the same package, like for like, cheaper than us at the time of booking, then we will match that price as well. So we have every confidence, and we also have price parity for the agents, which we know it's not many companies have price parity anymore. So it makes them feel confident that they, obviously, if they're booking with Biblio Travel to Cyprus, then they know that they've got the right price, and we're supporting them.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about agents and your sort of distribution policy. I know you are predominantly going trades, for trade sales. Why did you decide to do that?
I think entering a market from a different, from Cyprus. I think Cyprus have always been very, very pro agents. I think we've got probably one of the best network of agents across the world. We would say that because we're very pro our agents. And we saw that by International Agents Day the other day, what great support that they've had, and they've had a really tough year. So I think for us, we know that they understand Cyprus as well as a country. I think from the feedback we've had, they've been looking at another operator to support them in the supply and demand. We've also asked them what's important to them. So we've done some agent surveys to understand what they would like to see. So we've tried to match that. And I think for us, we have got a great network of agents across the country, and we feel that we can work with them to be able to fill that capacity. And obviously we're going to work with everybody. So we haven't got our own agencies, so therefore we can work across the landscape right up. So at the moment we're doing Manchester, Birmingham and Gatwick. That's for this year, but we will be looking to expand to some other airports going forward, but
more regional
not next year.
Not next. Okay, so
yeah, we would like to.
For 23 onwards, you'd look at other.
Yeah, we'll be looking at that. So everything's there, right for expansion, really. And I think it's just letting the agents understand that yes, we've entered the market, we've got great backing, and it's going to be a company that will be here for the future. And yeah, we're looking forward to support them. Our agent, the people that we've got in the team, got a great sales team that many people know.
Yeah, they are well known, aren't they, in the trade? So
they are, yeah, and headed up by Tina, who's our sales director, Tina Hodge, who's obviously worked across trade for many years. And then my deputy MD is Ruth Hilton, who needs no introduction to the trade market, with great experience as well on the sales and marketing side. So with that, we're obviously working very strongly commercially to make sure that we are getting the right offers and the right prices, and also making sure that we've got the right product for each of those different customer types that you mentioned.
Yeah. And that survey you did, Claire, asking agents what was important to them, is that kind of why you brought in your triple lock promise? But because whenever we talk to agents, they're saying that actually priorities have changed. It's not sort of price so much anymore, but it's about safety and security, both health wise, but also your money. Your money is going to be safe, and that you're not going to have a big battle to get it back should your holiday have to be changed. So, and I guess that all comes down to you having put in place this trust arrangement as well.
Yeah, I think it's quite important. I think everyone knows the CAA are reviewing how tour operators and OTAs, etc., are going to be working, and airlines with the trust guarantee. We call it the golden trust because it is the best one there that you we have our monies locked into. And I think we saw, when there was different things that have happened in the last 2 years, that's really, really important. And I think the price promise is important because agents want to know that they can go to one place and feel that they've got a good price. Everyone's really busy. They're up against it so much at the moment. And also making sure that you get your refund within 14 days, which is one of our promises, if something should change, so that people aren't waiting for their money again, and it's about working respectfully and honestly with people. So I think it's the right policies. And again, yes, it's all been driven by what the feedback of our agents is. So hopefully that's going to give us some good focus and working with them.
Yeah, and you mentioned you'd work with anyone. or you are working with any agent. So have you sort of had a bit of a plan going out by a consortia, etc. first, or are you happy to hear from anyone that might be watching this and would be interested in hearing more about Biblio? What's your sort of trade strategy been?
Yeah, so obviously we've been working with the consortias, we're moving into the menopause, and obviously the independent agents. We're continuously signing up and working with people to get them on board at the moment, and that's what the sales managers are really focusing on in their regions. We're already over 2,000 agents that have signed up with us to date. So so we've moved quite quickly, but obviously we've had a bit of time to do that. But it's now, we only launched a week ago, and we're getting considerable hits onto the website, which is a web platform. It's a very much an agent web platform, and they'll see that by the design. It's not built aimed at direct, it's built for agents to give them all the information and room types and all of that stuff that they really, really need to be able to make bookings and have choice in front of their customers. So that's the sort of strategy rollout. We've got webinars every Wednesday. The team will be out seeing people now, Tuesdays and Thursdays. They'll be getting out to see everybody. And really, I think they've already made a huge way through communicating with the people, because I think a lot of them have known from before, and that's really, really helped. We're working with yourselves, obviously, as well, making sure that everybody knows who we are.
You are, and I know you're also supporting the Agent Achievement Awards coming up, where we'll have obviously several hundred agents there, and it's great that you're going to be, you know, part of that and supporting all those agents. Just give me an idea there, because your team, led by Tina and some other names in there that we know well, they've been sort of communicating the messaging around Biblio then, but you're saying you only actually went live to book last week. Is that right?
That's
okay, right. But they've been doing a lot of groundwork, I guess, explaining what you're doing. And so in terms, I know it's only a short window, but that first week then, have you seen what kind of sort of sales or uptake have you seen?
Well, we've seen a big uptake.
From nothing. From nothing to that. But you know what I mean? Have people, what have they been looking? Have they been doing lates into this summer, or are they looking ahead to 22, or what are they looking
I think people have been looking really at what can happen in August. I think people are a little bit nervous because of what happened in France, if I'm honest. So we're sort of watching it, waiting to see, you know, what the feedback is. We're just obviously getting the feedback. We're getting a lot of people's interest coming on. We've had obviously bookings. We've had some great price comparisons. We've had some fantastic luxury through to 2-star books. It's been a real mixture of product. And some great feedback, and also some good constructive feedback. So I think with having the team that really understand the market with the agents is you know, no feedback is bad feedback, as we say, because when you're new into a market, everything needs to come back. So, you know, we're really, really excited because there has been quite a lot of stir and a lot of interest. So a big thank you to everyone that has gone on to the website. So if you haven't, please go on to Biblio Travel and have a look.
.co.uk, get the full address.
.co.uk, yes, get that in.
Get the full address in. All right, perfect. And I mean, is your intention as well to eventually get agents to experience your product? I mean, I don't know when we'll be able to do fam trips again, but we're certainly talking to people now who are hopefully ramping those up and thinking about towards the end of the year there. And I guess if you can extend the season and maybe get some agents out, that would be great for them to see what your USPs are and why, you know, booking with Biblio.
We have a mega fam. We've had a mega fam planned, I think, every week this summer, but it keeps getting moved back. We have a mega fam planned for at least 160 agents to come, so bringing sort of them from all 3 airports. We've already been promoting that and hoping that everyone signs up, so please do. We'd love to see as many of you there. How do
agents get on that? How do they have to make a booking? Do they?
They just have to go through. They don't have to make a booking. They just go through to bibliotravel.co.uk, Lucy, and while they're on there, they can register to come on the fam trip. So there's lots of different ways, so different competitions that have been out there, but you know, come on and tell us why you should be there. It's going to be, we call it a mega fam because it is, you know, you're going to be seeing the island from one way or another, but with lots and lots of fun along the way, because I think we're all ready to have fun. And yes, so we hope to see you on that as well, Lucy.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll
I
all
will,
be on that.
we'll all be
Yeah,
on
so
that.
we're all looking forward. And Cyprus have been so excited to welcome us on Biblio Travel. We would like to obviously get all of the press out on the first flight, but let's see when that is.
Okay. All right. Well, we will watch this space, but it's great that that you launched last week, and I know it's been a long time coming, but we wish you all the best with it. And it's great to have a new player in the market that's really positive, and particularly one that's working so strongly with agents. So thank you so much, Claire, and come on again and tell us how it's going.
I will. Thank you ever so much. Thank you for your time.
All right. See you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.